Today's video is sponsored by Michaels. Hello, welcome to another studio vlog, I think I want to call this. I'm just gonna be putting together some orders, doing kind of like a normal work day, and I'm gonna do a little art supply shopping, and then I'm going to do a little drawing in my sketchbook. So I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. And I know a lot of you guys ask for studio vlogs like this, and I haven't done one in quite a while because, to be honest, I simply forget to film when I'm working, and then I just end up with not enough footage, but I'm getting better at it. I just need to train my brain to remember to film things. But yeah, I'm just packaging some orders up. Lately I've been just doing a lot of sketching. I'm filming a ton for a video coming up, another studio vlog where I'm gonna redesign all of my packaging, which I'm super happy about. I want it to be all fall themed because it's my favorite season, and it's just so warm and cozy. I just love it so much. So that's what I'm working on currently. And in life, I've just been going on a bunch of daily walks with my kitty because we just got him a little kitty backpack, which I actually saw on Jordan Clark's stories, and I reached out to her and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this. And then I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact and restarting my Animal Crossing island. I really want to fall back in love with the game. They just haven't put out any new updates, so I'm trying to find ways of making it fun again. So I thought restarting my island would be kind of fun. But yeah, mostly just hanging out with my cat and doing art and playing video games. That's pretty much what I've been up to lately. But yeah, here's a cute little clip of my cloudy boy. He likes to hang out with me while I work, so I just put his little kitty stand here and it works out pretty well. But yeah, back to packaging. I use this vellum paper. I've been using this vellum paper for a very long time now, and I love it because it's sturdy and you can print whatever, design you want on it. But I'm thinking about switching to tissue paper. I'm looking into designing my tissue paper with No Issue Co. because they always look so beautiful, and I know several people who use them, and they're definitely more environmentally friendly than the vellum paper. So I'm trying to figure out if that's the route I want to take. My only thing is that it's not as sturdy, but I do use rigid envelopes, so it should be fine. But yeah, if any of you guys have, packaged your orders or anything with No Issue Co., let me know what you guys think about them. Because I'm seriously trying to think of making the switch, and I'll probably, if I end up doing that, I'll probably end up designing that in the next studio vlog that I'm going to be doing here, because I really want to get that started to do kind of a fall themed packaging. But anyways, right now I am making all of my little prints that people ordered with gold details added. I'm just putting all of those gold details on with my all-time favorite gold paints. I use this for everything. I'm sure you guys have seen me use this in the past, but it's the Finetec Gold, I think it's called the Mica Gold paint palette, something like that. I always forget the name of it, but I feel like the gold details always just make it so magical, so I love having that option for people to add if they want to. But I just let them dry for I don't know, 5 minutes. It dries pretty quickly, and then I am just packaging the last of the orders up. one last step before I send them out. I always get out my little leaf stamp that I carved, and I just do a bunch of like stamps of the leaves all throughout the outside of the envelopes, and I feel like it just makes it look more unique and kind of magical. So if I have time, I do this step before sending out my orders. And then I have this stamp from Laura Makes, which I always put on the back, and it's so cute. She hand carves a bunch of stamps, and that's one I got from her a couple years ago. I feel like those little details always just add a little extra something to them, so I try to put those on whenever I can, but sometimes I'm like running out the door trying to make it to the post office by 5 p.m. So sometimes it just doesn't happen, but most of the time I'm able to. And for my international orders, I'm just weighing all of my packages and then stamping on all of the addresses. And I am finished packaging, so I'm just gonna head to the post office. I usually use one of these like Baggu bags, and it fits them all perfectly. This time I didn't have very many packages to send out as I usually do, so it didn't take me too long to put them all together. But yeah, now we're off. Alright, so on to the next day. I'm going to do some art supply shopping. So I went to Michael's and I had my partner next film me and we couldn't stop laughing. We're just not good at filming in public. People kept staring and I just have to get over it, but I don't know why we were so uncomfortable. But I did end up getting my Copic sketch markers, which I'm going to be using for my drawing that I'm going to be doing in my sketchbook. And I also picked up some more Tombow brush pens because mine were out of ink. So it was a very successful trip. And I was just so excited to get home and use my new pens. I own a couple packs of these pens and I love them so much. So I wanted to kind of like get the rest of the colors that I needed to be able to do like a full-on drawing, and I'm so excited to use them. But first I sketched out kind of like the layout of what I wanted on my iPad, and I am just gonna be using transfer paper to transfer this to my sketchbook. Sometimes I'm more in the mood for sketching on actual paper, and other times like this day I just really wanted to sketch on my iPad, so that's what I did. I just have a first generation 12.9 inch iPad Pro. It's old, but it truly does everything that I want it to. But yeah, I just exported that sketch to my computer, and I'm gonna print that out on my Canon Pixma Pro 100 printer, and I'm just printing it out on vellum paper. You'll see why I do this, but basically it just makes transferring a little bit easier. Sometimes I will print it out on white paper and then take some like tracing paper and trace it on top, but this time I'm just going straight onto the vellum. And I made sure to size everything according to like my sketchbook sized paper. So I'm just gonna cut that out and we're gonna put it into the sketchbook. So now that they're all printed out, I'm going to open up my journal just to make sure that they fit nicely in there. This was a past sketch that I recently did that I still need to paint. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it looks like they fit perfectly. So I'm just going to kind of go over each one of the sketched items and basically have to retrace everything. And I'm going to have to do this twice. So I would say if you're not wanting to do this long step, just sketch right into your notebook. Because this whole process of transferring it, just because I had so much drawings on this one, it was a long process and it took me a very long time, and I kind of regretted it in the moment, but it ended up working out. It transferred very nicely. It just took quite a while, but that's okay. The good thing about transferring though is that on the iPad, obviously you can make mistakes and it's not as big of a deal if you sketch something on that you really don't like. And also when you transfer it, the sketches are like much lighter than if you just went straight onto the paper. The pencil is like much easier to erase once you ink everything or paint everything. So that's kind of like the perk of doing it this way. But now I'm taking out my Micron pens. These are pens that I got quite a while ago from Michaels. I always try to use different fine liners and see which ones I like best, and these have lasted me the longest, so I always go back to using these. But I also love the Unipin fine liners and the Copic fine liners. They're all great, but yeah, I thought that since I am using Copic pens to color this in, it needed more of like an edge to it. If I was painting this, I probably wouldn't go in with a like dark fine liner. But yeah, I'm just doing this as my first step, and I kind of started out with a very like bold line, and I didn't really like that, so I switched to more of a kind of sketched line as I'm doing this. I tend to put a lot of, if you kind of look closely, I tend to put a lot of like breaks in the lines that I'm doing, and I don't know why I love this look so much, but I got this idea kind of from looking at, if you search Autumnal Wood on Instagram, they make such amazing like vintage kind of looking magical art pieces, and they use this technique in all of their drawings, so I'm kind of getting inspiration from that. And yeah, I'm just gonna erase everything before I put the markers on, because after you go in with like these markers, it's really hard to get the sketched lines off, so I always erase beforehand. And I'm getting out all of my new markers that I have. These two packs I had beforehand, and I loved these so much, and so I wanted to get more colors, obviously, because I only had grays and then these warm toned colors, but I love warm toned colors, so I got even more warm toned colors and then a couple greens. The one color that I forgot to get was red, so I'm gonna have to go back for like a red color later on, but I'm gonna do a little swatch of each one of these, both for my sake so I can kind of reference it before putting the colors down, and also so that you guys can see all of the colors. And I know it helps, at least me, when people swatch things on camera, so that I can decide whether I want certain colors, especially for like professional art supplies that I'm investing in, like these markers. These are definitely probably the highest quality professional markers you'll find. They bleed into each other like flawlessly. You'll kind of see as I put it down on the paper, especially if you use let's see, what is it called? Marker paper. Marker paper allows it to kind of like blend really nicely, but even on this watercolor paper it works super well. But if you're looking for more of a inexpensive, affordable marker, they have these they look exactly like the Copic sketch markers from Michaels. They're the Artist Loft brand, and I swatched a bunch of them and they looked like very, very nice, and they had all of the same, pretty much the same color range that the Copics had. So that's like an easy dupe if you don't want to spend a ton of money on getting the like professional grade ones. I only use them for a little bit on just regular paper, so I'd be really interested to actually get them and try them out on like a watercolor paper like this. But I already had a bunch of sets of the Copics, so I wanted to keep up with my kind of collection. And yeah, I'm just going in with a bunch of warm toned colors just to make it very like fall-like. And since I didn't have a red in my Copic sketch set, I ended up putting, I didn't really think this would work, to be honest, but I ended up putting just a normal Prismacolor colored pencil underneath that was red, and then I went over it with a kind of like orange colored Copic marker, and it ended up working really well. So now if I ever don't have a color from Copic that I don't have, I think I might just get out my Prismacolor set and put it underneath. And yeah, that's kind of like a little tip that I learned while doing this. I did not think it would work, but it did. But anyways, basically my vision for this sketchbook page was just to make it cozy and kind of I got inspired by, I've been playing Sims 4 lately, and I got inspired by their new cottage living pack, which has like the most adorable cottage core theme to it. All of the items are so cute, and you can have animals now, so that's why I added a little bunny and a fox and chicken to my sketches. And I don't know, I've just been loving it lately. You live in this cute little like quaint, charming town, and the new outfits in it and the new items in it, they're all so adorable. So anyways, I'm gonna stop my rant about my love for the new Sims pack, but that's where I got a lot of the inspiration for some of these sketches, and just the theme in general. But yeah, I'm having so much fun, honestly, using these Copic markers. I'm not used to using these just because I'm usually always like painting things. That's my preferred medium, but it's nice to change things up every once in a while and do like colored pencils or markers and different things like that just to keep it interesting. I would love to start learning how to stitch. That's like the next medium I kind of want to try out is doing like, not stitching, what is it called? Embroidery. I would love to do that, or just learning how to like sew and do kind of like quilted patterns or something. But that's like a whole nother realm that I haven't delved into quite yet. So it's a little like intimidating, but that's the next thing on my list that I want to try out. I think that's going to be my goal for this fall season, is to embroider something. Maybe I'll try to make that into a video. Oh god, I can already see it not going well, but I'm gonna try. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, I'm just finishing up my little Chimkin, and I'm gonna add some small little details to the other like drawings that I did just to make it all come together. I'm just adding like little dots or little details in the animal fur. I feel like when you're using markers like this, that the drawings can be kind of flat, so I always like to go in with a little extra drawing details. My very last step is always going in with my white Uniball pen just to make some like little highlights and extra details stand out. I'll be sure to add all of the materials that I used in my description so you guys can have like a single place where you can find all of them. But this is how my little sketch turned out. I think it turned out so cute. I might turn some of these into cute little fall stickers or maybe a print or something. I'm gonna have to like come up with that in a bit. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to Michaels for sponsoring it. I'm always happy to work with Michaels. It's just like, that's been my happy place forever. So yeah, I'm so happy to be making studio vlogs again, and I'm sure I'll see you guys again very soon in another video. All right, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you on the next one.